Recording is on.
Welcome to DXdao governance discussion for Wednesday, February 9th, 1600 UTC. Starting first with the proposal roundup. I will share my screen here. Starting first with Mainnet, a couple, I think, pretty exciting proposals on Mainnet. First and foremost is update swapr.eth resolver to point to the beta 10 release of swapr. So this is a big release for swapr, and this is a proposal that will set the swapr.eth ENS domain name to point to the latest, the IPFS hash of the latest release. So this was, I think, the product release was in the middle of last week, and then the proposal came up, I think, Thursday or Friday, and then we had a boost over the weekend. So excited to see this go through. There's a lot of really exciting new features on this. There's a bridge in there. There's really cool new updates to the UI in terms of like seeing what the APYs is of all the different farms, a little kind of gradient going on there, and a lot of exciting things there. I think there's also Coinbase wallet integration. So yeah, very looking forward to that. I don't know if anyone had anything to say about the swapr.eth release. Cool. Next up on mainnet is withdraw 5.0 ETH from former DXSwapRelayer. And so this is kind of a little bit of a housekeeping that they're one of the former DXSwapRelayers when we were testing on mainnet had some extra ETH that was because when you deposit through the relayer, you could get excess of one token based upon whatever the balance of the tokens are when you deposit. So there was some extra ETH in there. So this is a proposal from Dave to get it out through the multi-call scheme there. So it is kind of finding 5 ETH in your couch there. There's a little bit more ETH than that actually in the DXSwapRelayer on Gnosis Chain, but we like actually can use that for things. Whereas this one is a former one. I mean, luckily these things are, again, they're all owned by the DAO and they can be released, at any time. So it's kind of again like a housekeeping thing. And then next up, last on mainnet, was just boosted last night, is to send 1.7 million swapr to the Multichain, Multisig for the Gnosis Chain farming and also contingency. So we've had a lot of discussion on farming related stuff. There's a whole bunch of things kind of going on with swapr and looking at the different chains. And this is a proposal to get those tokens to where they need to be. Keenan, I don't know if you wanted, on. There's been a lot of cool stuff with the swapr farming going on, and so probably a little bit more to look out for in the future. Anything to highlight or call to attention?
I don't know if there's anything in particular right now, but yeah, namely just kind of covering our bases for the next little while. I think this takes us to May 17th. So provided the fact that there's further adjustments will be good for a couple of months on the swapper side. And obviously this is accounting for the shift from 20 to 40%. So effectively doubling the swapper rewards on Gnosis Chain.
And then of course, not in this proposal, but also part of the new kind of farming on swapper is there will be some GNO rewards coming on swapr in the coming week here. So that should really be a nice boost to swapr on Gnosis Chain there. In addition, we just saw the swapr.eth proposal release, so that'll kind of be an exciting thing. And then also on the way will be some additional DXdao liquidity, about $2.3 million that will be deposited into swapr on Gnosis Chain. So a lot of exciting stuff for swapr and a lot of it on Gnosis Chain. Lots of GNO pairs for those listening at home. If you have GNO, there's a GNO DXD pool that I thought would be interesting to have, and some others as GNO kind of looks to expand a little bit. Okay, I think that is it for mainnet. I guess there is a proposal submitted but not boosted for a DX Ventures grant to Karma. So maybe that might get boosted when gas is low enough for there anything there. Cool. And then like just going to Gnosis Chain base here, we have a proposal for Zett payout for January, February, maybe in March. That's 43 minutes. So if you can run now, you can go and vote for that. Also one from Augusto. These are actually some old proposals. I actually looked at them when I was looking at old proposals for whether or not they got paid out because they were through the quick wallet scheme and it didn't actually work. So Augusto is claiming these through the regular ones. Maybe have some updates on that quick wallet scheme through ETHDenver. Then there's the Codeless Conduct Hackathon sponsorship. So this was an initiative started by 1KX. So Christopher posted in the forum about this. So the idea of this is to have a hackathon targeted at non-coding things. So really, I think a lot of content generation things. So this is a proposal to be a bronze sponsor, which is a $3,000 sponsorship. It goes over 2 weeks. It starts like the Friday after ETHDenver. So hopefully we can kind of maybe build some ideas from there, things and maybe projects we have at ETHDenver that need some codeless work or something. And then also, whatever memes we can think of. I think those are always good things to have. So this, it looks set to pass in tomorrow, and then we'll need to come up with some ideas for bounties specifically there. Also cool that this is submitted by, it's not Christopher, but someone from 1KX. I don't know if it's their wallet or whose wallet it is, and did it through DXgov. And then Dave ETHDenver stipend request. I think the fun thing to think about this from Dave is you're not on a plane right now, but you're literally almost en route to Denver. So this is I think the first stipend from what Melanie had laid out for how contributors can claim their reimbursement for their ETHDenver expenses. And then there's actually 4 buyback proposals there ongoing now. We've been pretty consistent with them there. And then there are 2 other worker proposals, one for Violet and then another for Milton here. So those, I believe, those are all of the proposals on Gnosis Chain. Any questions?
I've seen it.
Thoughts, comments on those? Yeah, when I was looking through the agenda in June, maybe because you're on this, I'm thinking of it too. It is kind of cool just to see the different things that DXdao is doing from like a governance standpoint. I think looking at like the ones on Mainnet here, and we're kind of moving funds around through a former relayer through proposal. We're changing a website, updating a product through governance, and then like coordinating an incentive program through governance. And those are just kind of all done even on Mainnet there, but it is kind of shows some of the breadth of the different things being done there. And as you can see here, in addition to like normal payments that a lot of people do in terms of proposals that are being sent out and approved by and voted on by the DAO, we also have these things here, which are buyback orders. And these are actually like orders placed in a trustless manner by the DAO. And it's part of a whole program we've had for DXD for a bit. So does, I think, kind of, it is maybe just a normal week for DXdao governance, but it's nice to see the different items.
Chris, is there is there on DXvote, is there a proposal about sending the carrot tokens to Atlantis World? I can't remember if it was boosted or not. Maybe it's not boosted.
It passed.
DXvote is that was creating the carrot tokens. There should be one to send carrot tokens.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So this is what I'm looking at now. I'm looking at your screen now. I didn't know where. So where are the carrot tokens that are in the treasury?
Yeah, in the DAO, and you can see them in the actual avatar of the DAO. But there should be a proposal. Maybe it's not boosted though. But my DXvote's not loading for some reason, so I can't see it. Before that, okay, maybe it's not boosted.
Let me just try Alchemy.
No, it should be on DXvote if you just go down a little further, I think.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be right up there.
There it is. Okay, so that needs to be that needs to be boosted. This is the actual sending. So yeah, the avatar created the carrot token portion of the grant, and then this is the proposal to send the actual carrot tokens, which if you go, actually it's not on carrot.eth, but it's on a staging version of carrot.eth. The actual that actual campaign for this carrot is actually is about to be on carrot in UI. And those are getting sent to the same wallet address as the grant was delivered to the Atlantis team.
Yeah. And for those that don't know where, Atlantis World is a metaverse style play that was an investment from DX Ventures, and part of the investment was a $40,000 grant paid out in DAI, and then another part was $10,000 that was paid out through these carrot tokens that are like KPI or conditional tokens to incentivize certain behavior based on meeting milestones or deliverables. So this is the second component of that there. So I think pretty cool. And what is this actually being denominated with, or what's the collateral?
The collateral is WXdai.
Is that WXdai?
Yeah.
Right. And so then in that case, like they would either get all the 10,000, or that would, if it didn't pay out, it would just come back to the DXdao treasury, I guess.
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. Well, not
and on that one, like that's we published an article about it, but now that has been delivered, it might be good to have another follow-up, with the exact details and showing the token and showing the actual carrot campaign, like as part of this, investment grant, because I don't think that's very common to do, and so
maybe it could be cool actually being from like DX Ventures. Right, because it is like kind of highlights a cool thing about DX Ventures in a way, or like a way that it can invest in projects.
Yep.
Cool. And I think that's it for proposals. Kind of light today. Any other things before we move to some discussion items? Not, I guess we can turn over to Melanie for ContributorX check-in and maybe chat a little bit about the DXdao entity formation and maintenance post you made. Melanie?
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to give a quick update on the ContributorX. So this week we completed Epoch 1 of Appreciation DAO using Coordinate. We're excited to have had 100% participation from our core contributors on this initiative. I really hope that everyone enjoyed and had a meaningful experience throughout this process of writing appreciation notes and giving give tokens to one another. And hopefully we can do this again later this year. So for those who did participate, be sure to check your Coordinate to see your appreciation notes. Also, rewards for this will be dispersed in the upcoming days, so keep an eye out for that as well.
They actually are already dispersed, and so if you notice like a wad of money in your wallet and wondered where it came from, I was actually the one who executed the transaction, so if there's anyone who can take credit for it, no. But yeah, I think it was like last night, or no, this morning, that it was executed. So yeah,
awesome. So fantastic. So check your wallet, and you should have your rewards in there now. So great. And then, so next thing I wanted to discuss, and also if you don't see your rewards in your wallet, you can reach out to myself, or Sky. So, just let me know. The next thing I did want to discuss, and
sorry, Melanie, if you don't see your rewards in your wallet, there's a major problem with the Gnosis Chain blockchain. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. So the next thing I wanted to mention was the forum post I made last week in regards to the legal entity formation, and then maintenance stipend for DXdao contributors. And just to give a little bit of a background, because DXdao, I don't know, Chris, if you want to pull up the proposal, cool. Because DXdao is fully on chain and has no legal entity, our contributors are exposed potentially to legal and regulatory risk. As a result of that, we have in fact encouraged contributors to form legal entities in their countries of residence to help ensure they remain covered from any risk that they could potentially face. And this signal proposal outlines a stipend that covers any individual legal and tax advice, and then eventual legal entity formation for our contributors up to $5,000 US. In addition to that, this stipend covers up to $500 for annual maintenance of your legal entity, so covering legal tax advice up to $500 in the following years. In regards, also important to note that this isn't mentioned in this proposal, but this proposal will be retroactive and cover those contributors who already have existing legal entities. Chris commented and brought this point up in the forum. I'll amend the proposal to explicitly say this and put specific dates that this proposal will cover. So again, this will cover contributors who already have existing legal entities. And then you'll see that amendment coming up. And then in regards to claiming the stipend, contributors are responsible for claiming the stipend on a separate forum post and putting an on-chain proposal. Then their contributor proposal, the entity formation and stipend request will require prior review from myself or someone within the ContributorX just to further verify the information. But check out the forum post for more details. Leave any questions or comments and concerns you might have about this. I will be posting it on chain if in the upcoming days as well. So hopefully you guys will take a look and make any comments. We can discuss further. Any other questions?
I might jump in just because I did make a comment in the forum already, and I'll just scroll down. And so I think is here at the bottom, Melanie said this is going to be addressed. And so I think it's really important that DXdao start to kind of support and subsidize some of these things that it relies on. DXdao pushes so much onto contributors in terms of operations and lots of things. You think of how that competes with a company, right, that really caters to a lot of different needs. And I don't think DXdao will ever be able to cater to so many needs like a company, but we can figure out ways that we can build an incentive structure to kind of build those in a little bit more organic way. So I think this is a really good first step forward. And you could see this with a lot of the other stipend things, whether it's for ETHDenver or the Lisbon we did there. There are all these kind of systems and processes we need to put in place for DXdao to fund these, but to have some kind of checks and balances. So I think this is a really good one in this initiative. I think two things that I think to highlight maybe that are also relevant for other proposals like that. One, it says individual contributors, which I think is important because I have a vision for DXdao in the future where there's lots of big companies that are contributing to DXdao, right? Maybe you have a company, a company that has lots of different people working for DXdao in different fashions. And so I think we want to make sure that this is not for large organizations, but more focused on the individual contributors that are doing it as a way of kind of shielding some of that burden. And then second, this does create some centralization concerns around verifying the legal information with the ContributorX squad. So in the proposal, you can see that it does need to be reviewed by ContributorX. So this is, I think placing some trust in Melanie and the ContributorX squad in a way, which I think is fine because, to maintain a certain level of privacy. I just think it's important that we understand that from a transparency angle. And then I also think it's important that I don't know, this is the way I view things, that it kind of creates a expectation that ContributorX members who are doing this or are looking at are the ones that are voting, boosting, and signaling support for an on-chain proposal, since they are in a privileged position. And this isn't something that they would have the final say on voting of this and anything. That would all have to be transparent. But in my mind, it'd be quote, good governance if those that were responsible for reviewing these items were also like voting and contributing to the governance as a way to like kind of avoid not really avoid the centralization concerns, but just kind of really meet them head on. So yeah, those are my two thoughts. Again, not specifically related to these. Maybe there's thoughts about the price. I think this is up to $5,000. A lot of legal entities do not cost that much. That's one of the reasons for the to need the review. And then I also think there's some annual maintenance there. And this does not like say general continual legal advice or other things. Maybe we have other ways of doing it, but it's really just kind of looking at the setup and an entity formation there. So other thoughts, comments? This is a great paragraph, as I told Melanie when she wrote it. Sometimes it's just nice to read a paragraph that is clean and conveys a lot. Okay, Melanie, anything else from like ContributorX side? These are actually pretty exciting things, Coordinate and
I think that's it. Yeah, excited to see everyone in Denver next week. We'll be finalizing some details of the conference in the ContributorX call after this. So please join if you have any outstanding questions for ETHDenver. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Next up, DXD Bi-weekly trade volume update. So this is something I'm going to try to do a bit more every 2 weeks. Posting this in the forum. I actually just finished this before this. So just a kind of brief review here. A very, very small increase, average 3-month of, I think it's $49 from 142,171. So you can see there's kind of steadied around that. And there's been some pretty consistent buybacks over the last couple of weeks here. You can kind of check out any of the info there. I'd say the only other thing on the buyback is Dave and I are talking about the next extension proposal, and we're working on language to allow for if there are delays in like a total weekly average volume. So maybe like there's something wrong with the solver, or there's something wrong that we can't, that would subsequent buybacks would be able to make up basically the difference of that in order to like maintain the overall like 25% average daily trading volume. So that's something that we're looking to add to this one. And I think we're hoping to get this in the form hopefully this week and kind of get to proposal for the next extension. Yeah, and then could talk about it here, but there's a really, I would say we could just kind of highlight it for people to check it out. But there's a great discussion from Connor, kind of post from Connor, and then a reply from Keenan and myself about some things related to the buyback. We're really kind of looking forward to that. So would encourage anyone to check that out. Again, there are other kind of draft proposals or things on the horizon. There's a Signal proposal for scheduling Sigma Prime for auditing service that John posted, and then the Space Inch Development Work kind of invoice and look at what they did in January 2022 is there also in the forum. Awesome. That was all on the agenda, a little bit shorter today. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to bring up? I guess for next week, I will be in Denver during this call, but I think we can have a governance discussion. We'll make it next week happen. At the same time.
Perhaps not so relevant to the governance discussion, but perhaps I can just mention that previous proposal which passed about sponsoring Copenhagen Flames esports team. The official announcement will be next Monday. So make sure to check your social medias, retweet, and perhaps there'll even be a PO-up to claim.
The Twitters, someone check the internets and the Twitters.
check the internet.
All your social
The
media, crank it
blockchain.
up. Enter the metaverse. See what they're all saying.
And then we'll have a second announcement at our happy hour on the 16th in Denver.
So this is an announcement of the announcement.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were talking about a Twitter space, something in Denver. I don't know, was it related to this or the community call?
I don't think so. Community call, okay.
Maybe community call.